Welcome back, everybody, to episode 139 of The Lookout. I am, of course, Meelz, and I am here joined by 27 himself, LJ. What is up, bro? How does the week
And nothing,
7
nothing much.
feel?
You know what? I've been doing so much like adult stuff that I like 27 hit the ground running.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right.
Like,
Well,
but
it'll
no,
do
I
it.
did like some cool. Like, listen, I got a dentist appointment, got a like physical checkup. You listen, just health is wealth.
That sounds very adulty. Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing insane. And of course, we have here, where would we be without the third member of this triumvirate? Third member of this big three, AD. What is
What's
good,
going
bro?
on? What's going on, man?
He's our Zolo, man.
You already know, man. I'm glad you said health is wealth too, because right now I'm suffering. I'm going through it.
Listen, man. God bless you. You big three. You still here. You holding it down. You might keel over a little bit during the thing.
Yeah.
Not.
Hey, hey, we can just edit it out in post if he falls over.
Listen.
Nah, I got the tussin on deck, man. Hold on.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. 'Tis the season. It's not even. Don't even worry about it. It is the season of various sicknesses and all this other stuff. But
Oh yeah, it's
hey,
been crazy. Everybody been getting sick. We got
listen,
like
man.
40 different flu variants. COVID still running rampant.
It is a lot to live through right now. But nonetheless, we are here. Nonetheless, and shout out to you, AD, for being here. Shout out to you, Big Eyes Podcast. You it's been a while since Big Eyes, man. What have you been
Yeah.
up
I
to?
know.
Oh, you already know, man. Just chilling. You know, we got the streams going on Twitch right now, playing Pokemon Violet, and still reading some manga every now and again on.
At least
stream.
someone's playing it, to be honest with you, because
Yeah,
Hey,
because
can I snap for a second? Hold on, real quick though. Like, I know he probably ain't been playing it, but I just need to go off about something for a second with game, because
go off.
they've been getting away with this shit for way too long, man. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them for so long. They need to learn how to optimize their shit, bro. Like, and it's so bad because it's such a good game, but like,
You're the first person I heard say that, but go off.
because here's the thing, bro. Like, you know Iwata, right? He was the old president of Nintendo, and he also helped optimize Pokemon Gold and Silver to where they could fit Kanto into the game.
Right.
You know how bad, how long ago that was and how bad that was, where they had to do that. Like, they've been doing that shit for that long.
Right.
Like, they've been that bad for that long. Like, and it's still going on for this long, bro. Like, I love this game, but it's so bad where it's all this pop in, all of these glitches, but it's a great foundation, and they started off with something good with like Sword and Shield and Arceus, and this is a step in the right direction again, but I just can't stand it, dog. They've been. That's all I had to say, bro. Like, we can keep going.
We can absolutely keep. You know what? We're gonna keep going because that's a separate podcast for a separate day. Hopefully, it comes through. Nonetheless, I'm here. We have got some news that actually came out over the thing. So if you're looking forward to 2023, because this will be the last Lookout episode of 2022. So shout out to us for making it through at least this part of the year. Because nothing else is coming up for the rest of the year. Actually, all the great animes that we've had this fall are ending in this week or next week or something rather. So shout out to this fall of anime, because like,
it's been a great year overall. Overall, it's been a great year, but fall was something different.
We got a lot of good things ending, except My Hero Academia, because they are packed with episodes. But everything else worth a damn is ending. In 2023, so we have some brand new announcements that we gotta look forward to. One, Demon Slayer, spring 2023.
We back. The power is back, baby. The power is
the Swordsmith
back.
Village arc. Listen,
Keto hours, man. I can't wait.
Listen, so wait. Demon Slayer?
Yeah, that's the pillar. That's his name.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you said Mojito. I'm like, no, you off. Jujutsu Kaisen was last week, buddy. Like, that's why I felt like you heard. Maybe I heard it.
Oh, no.
But nonetheless, so Demon Slayer season 3 coming out 2023. What else did we got coming out 2023? They just released a new thing for Doctor Stone season 3.
Tokito.
Listen, a brand new world, whatever type of thing they're going with. So shout out to that. What else? There's another one. Well, Tokyo Revengers, January 7th. As soon as we come off break, violence straight to your front door.
Yuck. Ew.
All right, Christmas Showdown. Christmas Showdown. What's the general consensus on Christmas Showdown before I even try to? Because I don't have any.
What?
I'll let him start before I go.
If this was before they shit the bed in the manga, I'd be like, oh, like it was actually a really cool arc. You know, you get some good fights. Like, you know, it's cool. A lot of chaos ensues. But post them shitting the bed in the manga, I don't care. Everything now is bad to me. Everything now is horrible.
Wait. So the ending was terrible, so nothing else matters.
Like, it was that bad. Like, the ending was that bad where I was like, you know what? I can't even praise it for anything else it did.
Listen, that'll do it. What say you, AD?
Disney got fleeced. I don't know why Disney made that.
I'm about the same, honestly. It's weird because this is honestly a good arc. The Christmas arc is actually really good. Like, up until kind of parts of the ending with like the actual villain of the arc and his whole thing with his family. But around that, like, it's a great fight. Takemichi is actually doing some good work in there. Mikey does some good work. It's a great Christmas special. That's all I can really say about it. But everything after that is like
Christmas after Christmas. This makes no sense to me, but we're here anyway. Apparently,
yeah. They
would have been a great fall anime. No, not at all. But to be fair, I don't like this anime, so I'm really gauging it off of everybody else. I think it's a terrible concept. I don't know if it grows. To me, it was a struggle getting to the end of it. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for that, but I don't care. A lot of people hated our JJK rankings. They were like, what y'all talking about? And I was just like, think for yourselves, people. Like, that's all I can say about that.
All I can say is that I wasn't wrong, so you can't disagree with.
Realistically, there was only one thing that I wanted to change about y'all stuff, but other than that, I think y'all were pretty spot on.
Say it. You got to say it now.
What would you change?
Realistically,
was you wrong about Curse Child?
No, the Yuta arc needs to be grade 4. That should be the only grade 4. If I'm being real, dog, like the.
So wait, the chapter 0 or Yuta's assassination?
No, not that. The Culling Games, Yuta arc, the Sendai College. That's what it is. That should be a grade 4.
Well,
it
should be a grade 4. We didn't do a grade 4, so I feel bad about that for sure.
Child.
Oh hell no! That's about a grade 1. It's not special grade, but it's at least grade 1.
It's definitely not special grade. I'll tell you that.
It is definitely special.
It's a grade 2. Listen, it's not a special grade.
It's
not
okay.
Even close.
The rankings are out. People can argue amongst themselves and amongst their group chats, but all I know is that LJ was not wrong.
Well, listen.
That's all I can say.
Hey, you weren't right. But with that said, we got a lot of things coming up. Everything coming up is for 2023. It's going to be a great time for this year. Let's talk about everything from 2022, though. Let's actually get into the best.
Oh, and I need to correct myself from earlier. I messed up. I did accidentally say Mojito. It's Tokito. Here
you go. See, I was like, yo, it's not Mojito. Like, I know. So, boom. Best and worst of 2022. Let's get into it. Of like all the things that were great in anime and or manga or this kind of culture, what it is, and all the worst things are about it. So I think we all collectively agree that there were not a lot of bad things about the stuff that came out in 2022. Yes?
Yeah.
I can agree. I can agree to that.
Yeah.
There was more good things than bad things for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely.
On the anime side, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, you'll get into
I think
we'll
I
get into
think manga
manga
got a little
and Super
shaky.
Runner.
Manga
There was
got a
like
little
one
shaky.
thing. There was one thing that I saw that disappointed me in how they did it because and it just came out, and I was like, "Damn, bro, I didn't know y'all was gonna do it like this." And it's the Me and Roboco anime, because they just dropped the first episode, and it's like 3 minutes long, but they just like splits through it.
What? Wait a minute. Time out. They just dropped. They just don't die on us, big fella. They just dropped the Me and Roboco anime. It's 3 minutes long, and it came out at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's like
Wait, the
it's
episode's only 3 minutes?
Yeah, the episodes are like 3 to 5 minutes long. So I don't know how they're doing it. I'll send y'all the link to it.
And this is not like Adventure Time style 2 10-minute episodes together make a 20-minute episode kind of
No,
thing.
that's what I was hoping for. That's honestly what I was hoping for. No, that's not what it is at all.
They blundered it.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
you already we got a late game. We got a fourth quarter, 2 seconds left. 3
And
points.
they came down. Yeah, they came down and hit a worst of buzzer beater.
That's what I'm saying, bro. The Falcons are on a bye week, and somehow I still get disappointed, man. That's crazy.
Hey, man, I've not read Me and Roboco. If the anime is trash, that means the manga should absolutely end. That's just how the rule goes.
The manga is real fun to watch, read.
Yeah,
it's like Sunday comics. I mean, I've said that before, but it's like Sunday comics. I wish they would have went the Adventure Time route though. They could have gave us,
Well,
that's how Love is War is. Love is War. It's like minus. That's a best of though this year.
Well, listen. Sure. All right. So how about this? I'm gonna get into my best. I'm gonna get into one best and one worst for me, and then we'll go around and talk about like our best and our worst. But the first thing I want to get into, it has to be said, we had an episode about it just a number of weeks ago. It was like one of the big early contenders late contenders for anime of the year. But the hype behind Chainsaw Man is one of the best things of 2022, especially if you're an anime fan. Being excited for an anime is something that I think collectively as an anime community, like all of us are excited for the same thing. To me, it's something that brings us together. I always like those kind of titles, but like the Attack on Titans, the Kaguya-samas, all these other things where like collectively as a group, everyone's excited. And I love that there is so much hype behind this, because to me, it's proving that like anime is growing for sure. And it's growing beyond just the walls of anime. It's kind of like growing into this own culture thing. And the fact that so many people were anticipating Chainsaw Man, so many people, I'm sure, I can't look at the numbers, but I'm sure it did numbers on Crunchyroll. Ain't break it, but I'm sure it did numbers and is doing numbers every week. Chainsaw Man is, I don't want to say it's the best. All right, last episode, definitely one of the highlights of this year for sure. The Makima doing this, killing people every time. I was like, nah, they're bugging. They're wilding out. Everyone exploding and shit like that. I'm like, nah, this is crazy. Chainsaw Man is one of the best of 2022. What do you guys think of Chainsaw Man as we close out this year of heavily hyped anime show? Probably the most hyped of anything that came out this year.
I mean, we're not even gonna say just anime. I mean, part 2 of the manga came out, and I'm sure for manga heads and fans, that was the one thing that we were all looking forward to.
What a chaotic, wild, fucked
up
show.
Well, yeah, I know it's ridiculous all around, and I think that, I mean, Fujimoto's been working. I mean, outside of even just Chainsaw Man, all the one shots that he just dropped this year.
Hey man, I have Goodbye Eri on one of my best. I have good eye.
Hey, listen, man. It was amazing.
Back right here on the shelf.
Yeah, listen, man. He's been killing it ever since Chainsaw Man ended, and I think that it is great because I feel this felt so organic. How Chainsaw Man became what it is. Like, I don't think that it was like forced down, anyone's throat. They weren't like, plastering it in our face, like here, take it. Like I think just the anticipation for it, the love for the manga, which led into even a bigger love for the anime, and for the anime to, I feel, exceed expectations. It was amazing. The anime is beautiful. The manga game, like Fujimoto's been working, and it's really cool to see like everyone collectively comment and be like, no, this shit is heat. Like this is a really good anime.
And Mappa itself too. Mappa's been wild.
Oh yeah, Mappa's been working, man. They've been working hard.
In the beginning when we first got the announcement, we had the kind of skepticism because we were like, well, is it going to be 3D CG? Is it not going to be 3D CG? You know what I'm saying? And then when we got the reveal and then the animation of it, we were like, oh no, it's in good hands. Like the 3D has been amazing. The animation has been spectacular. They've been handling all the scenes very well. The references to all the different movies, everything has just been amazing. The attention to detail in Chainsaw Man has been amazing. I think that's one of the key things about it that is what makes it a good contender for anime of the year. That's just one aspect of it. Not like we all know about the characters. Like we love Denji, we love Makima and all that stuff, of course. But it's just like the technical aspects around it. That's what really drives it home. Like even down to like just sitting there watching each of the different endings and them following the different characters with all the different songs. Like, people would usually like sit there and be like, oh, well, that's the end of the episode. Time to move on and watch something else or move on to the next one. Nah, man, I'll be sitting there just jamming out to the end of this whole show. Like, just it don't even have like the next preview or like that. Like,
nah, that'd be blowing mine when they don't have the next preview. I'm like, all right, what's going on next?
yeah. But like, the music is good in everything. Like, it's just
them having different music for every ending is crazy.
Nah, it's not. It's like
that was such a that was such a curveball.
But it's such like it to me. That kind of stuff is like what differentiates you from a lot of things. It's like coming out and really defining. And Mappa's done this stuff a lot too. Like beyond that, like you look at Jujutsu Kaisen where they have the JJK strolls at the end of it, which is just like cool in general because it's anime original. It's these kind of like it takes your love for the characters and whatever they have, and they have these like little tiny segments and stuff like that. Mappa be doing that, and I'm like, yo, y'all onto something. Y'all willing, as much people as going through hell making all these animes, you guys are onto something creatively and like how you actually put this out. So shout out to Chainsaw Man. It is one of the best of the year by far. I think it's like critical acclaim, 10s across the board. Interested to see what happens in 2023 if it comes back.
Yeah,
honestly, Mappa got a lot going on. I could see it back in 2024, to be honest with you. But hey, maybe I'm bugging. It might be actually, it might be next year.
They didn't. As I say, because they wouldn't wait too far off to give us the second part of the second core or whatever.
It's weird because they have Hell's Paradise next year, and then JJK is supposed to come back next year as well.
And AOT is back next year too.
Yeah.
So they got a lot going on. I would imagine this is definitely a priority, but I could see it coming back like winter 2024, like top of next year kind of thing. Fall would be amazing, but it took them a million years just to even get here and admit an actual date for this fucking show. So God knows when this is going to actually come out. What are my worst things of this year? Gosh, there's not a lot, so I'm really digging out the barrel for this. But One Punch Man, what is going on in this? What is going on in this show just in general? What is going on in this universe just in general? I don't see how they took something that could have been so simple and could have elevated to a different level. And I think they've elevated beyond the barrier of like, there's a lot of things that are stopping One Punch Man. And to me, it's
the curse of making your main character, like be, what I'm saying, unbeatable.
Yeah,
because it's
not even that.
You gotta, and like not even just unbeatable. He's unbeatable, and he has like no personality. Like he's a pretty boring guy. And now you gotta rely on everyone around him to tell this story. And it's like it's too much going on.
But To me, I don't have a problem with Saitama because I like the first season, a little bit of the second season as well. My thing is, they've taken the general idea of what this is supposed to be, monsters versus heroes, and they've stretched it so far away from the actual original. We talked about losing the plot last week. It kind of lost the plot in itself to the
Oh
point
yeah, it
now
definitely did.
they announced season 3 for One Punch Man. It's gonna be animated by Mappa, supposedly. So that's another thing that's on their list. I don't care to see it. I mean, I'm a watch, but I don't really care to follow the story because I know where it goes. And I'm like, yo, bro, where are we going with this? Why are we in space? Why are we traveling through time? Why are we doing all this other stuff? So One Punch Man, that's my worst of 2022 because y'all took it too far. Like, what the fuck are we doing? It's still.
I mean, I said that.
Great
I was
art.
saying that when I was reading
Great
the
art.
manga, though. When I was reading the manga, I was like, "This is too much now. It's too much. It took me out." And then it was inconsistently dropping.
Yeah, that's the most part.
Back.
Inconsistency.
Yeah, then it
well.
was, and then you like done forgot everything else that had happened before. Next time
I
dropped,
don't know what the fuck is going on.
I don't either. I mean, like, people have told me that it's course corrected itself, and
it has a little bit towards the end of the year.
Tatsuma's ordeal, and so I'm like, all right.
It has a little bit.
Maybe I'll have to re-tab back in just to see.
Wait a couple more months. Like wait a couple more months.
Man, bro, but I'm already probably like a year behind.
All right,
well, one chapter this entire year.
Well, there you go. Man. One Punch Man. LJ, best and worst 2022. Hit us.
All right, best. Best thing that I have in just anime in general, the best thing I feel that I've watched, that I've experienced, that I was happy to fully jump into was Classroom of the Elite. I was writing and texting AD the entire time that I was watching this show, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever watched. I love it so much. I mean, I think I talked about it on our first episode together, Meelz. I think that I've been so battle shonen and all the, and it's either I've been watching like really heavy shonen stuff or like really cute slice of life stuff. And Classroom of the Elite finally gave me that feeling that like battle shonen has as like a slice of life ordeal. It's a lot of just like chess games and mind games. You can see how he's, using the people around him. I think that, just the story is telling is just really amazing, and I enjoyed it. It felt very different from a lot of things I've just been like watching lately. I gotta be one of my best. Or like not even one of, like that was the best thing. Like I've been still searching for that feeling, and I haven't gotten it from anything else. Witcher Mercury is very close. The Witcher Mercury is very, very close.
You can say that. I mean, we're gonna come back around if you want to talk Gundam. If you want to go back into Gundam.
I will definitely. But I'm saying though, like the Witcher Mercury and Classroom of the Elite, like those two this year. But we'll come back to that. One thing that I have, one of my worst. New manga that has started this year, like new titles, like the 2022 new titles have been really bad.
New manga is kind of butt, yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad. I feel a lot outside of Akane Banashi, but there's a very obvious reason why that is still running, and a lot of others have gotten clipped. I think that there is a certain theme in manga right now that a lot of people are trying to recreate. There is a certain way of storytelling that a lot of them are trying to recreate. Everyone's looking for their next My Hero, their next JJK, you know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of authors now are trying to do that, or trying to either do that or try to like verge so far off away from it where it's like, this isn't interesting. And I think that we saw a lot of that this year. I think that's why we had there was not a lot of longevity in a lot of things that released this year. But I think that hopefully this down year in manga helps us get back into something better next year.
80, what you got?
This is a deep ass list. I'm not gonna hold you because I think somebody said in the chat that I like everything, and this is pretty
You
much true.
do. AD likes everything.
This was
AD
an
will
exercise to reveal that you watch and like everything. So
Nah, so hold on. There are at least 5 things in the bad category. There are at least
only 5 or at least
Start
5?
start with your worst. I want to hear one of your worst. I don't care about
please.
like your yes, please.
All right,
I want to hear what you didn't like. You should actually do 2 worst. You won't even get a best this entire show because we know that you like them.
All right. So one of the worst is it's a show called Tomodachi Game. It's basically Squid Game the anime, but pretty much nobody dies. Like what the fuck? I don't.
Damn,
I can see
sounds
that.
terrible. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then Super Smartphone. That was
Wow, I just started that. It's not really that great, so I don't blame you. It's not. It hasn't grabbed me back to like running back and read.
That got clipped too, though, right?
It did, but they said in the ending that it will continue in the volumes or something like that.
Sound like Shonen Jump was like, nah, we want no parts of that.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we're gonna give you these extra 50 pages.
Yeah,
in the volume on the physical.
But like it's one of those things where it's like they had a good setup, but it's too wordy. The main character isn't very interesting. Some of the side characters are okay. The villain is all right, but they don't really go anywhere with the plot. Like the plot actually drags on for far too long. And also Boruto. Boruto is, at least for this year, and there are a lot of jokes that says Boruto is bad, but this year that shit is just a lot of setup. Is no action whatsoever that happened this year in the manga. So
God bless you, because that was 3. So
I'm telling you, AD,
we're proud of you.
Yeah,
that's the 3 bad things.
AD give us 3 of them. That's crazy.
No, say your best. You've earned a best, my friend. Go ahead, please.
All right, best this year. I really did like Gundam Winter Mercury. I'm not gonna hold you. That was
Talk about it.
Shit. You like the prologue in itself, like with I think her name is Eri. Like, first of all, I'm not really a big Gundam fan, and the only Gundam that has kind of really grabbed me was like G Gundam. I've seen like Gundam Wing when I was a kid and Gundam 00. I've continuously tried to watch IBO and like I just fall off on like episode 7 or 8. Like it's just me. Like I just can't. It just loses me. But Witch of Mercury, it's something about that show. Like the animation, the story, the way that they explain with the Gundams. Like no, these are actual like dangerous weapons. They should not be allowed out here. Like they are.
I want to ask, like, what's the general synopsis for the show? I haven't started watching it yet, but I promised to at least start watching it. But what's the general synopsis for this season of like Witch of Mercury?
Yeah, so it's like Gundams are basically a threat. Like Gundams themselves are a threat. So they have been banned from like Earth and like space. Like they are outlawed, and they have just been like confiscated and everything by, I guess, the military or something like that, or this organization. And the government is just mass producing mobile suits themselves, not Gundams, but their special brand called like industrialized thing called mobile suits. Am I getting that right?
Yep.
Jamal?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And so this season is like, there's this girl who is 15-year-old or 16 who attends this school, a space school, for training to be a Gundam pilot. And she's a transfer student, of course. And you know how like school stories go, where it's like she's a transfer student, but she's also like a combatant. So as she gets there, you know, she kind of gets challenged by the toughest guy there, and she ends up beating his ass. But because she beat his ass, she gets crowned as the new champion, but in doing so, she earns the right to marry the president's daughter or something like that. So like now there's this whole plot around surrounding this girl because she beat her using a hidden Gundam, and now they want to confiscate her Gundam, and there's like a whole bunch of war shenanigans and this stuff going on. It's like it's a bunch of crazy stuff going on. It's like that in itself like drew me in within like the first 3 episodes. Like it's actually really good.
LJ, please talk about a gush.
What?
Gush about your show. This is what you love.
Gush about my show, man. Listen, AD got it right. AD got it down, man. It's one of those things. If you know, you know. You don't, you know. You just gotta come back in with the Gunners game, bro.
I don't want to say too much.
I ain't gonna say too much about it. You know, you just tap in with Gunners, the Witcher Mercury. That's what you gotta know. It is definitely one of the best looking Gundam series off rip. I love the fact that we are getting a female pilot, or girl pilot. That's been really amazing, and just how they've been able to handle the dynamics of the relationships on there. I like the plotting and the scheming that's going on. I think that's a big thing with Gundam, especially since it deals with war, is that there's a lot of things that happen behind these battles and behind the scenes that they show us that you're like, oh, like that leads into that, and that leads into that. Like even her own mom, who, you know, we're supposed to think is like the good guy, we see her have her own, you know, motives and you know, see her trying to really, it feels like, you know, use her daughter to push this plan forward. And her daughter, she's so naive and so oblivious to everything. Like she doesn't even know, you know, about, you know, the fact that she is in a Gundam, or the fact that, you know, she's so sweet, she's so kind-hearted. And I think that's the one thing Gundam does really well. Is they take a character, they make you, you know, feel like, oh man, like, look at this, you know, look at this kid, or look at this whoever, you know, we fall in love with them so much just for like a bunch of terrible shit to happen to them. So like you feel horrible too. But no, I think Witcher Mercury this year, obviously one of my most even just anticipated series when it was announced, and it, you know, it falls into that fall anime group. Like the fall anime this year, you gotta say, if we're talking about best and worst of the year, it's the best season of fall this year. Like it has definitely, I think that the Witcher Mercury is amazing.
I love it. I'll go back with mine. So I got another best and a worst. So my best thing, I want to say, because it covered it early beginning this year. Attack on Titan, Season 4, Part 2. And more specifically, The Rumbling. The Rumbling is one of... If I could pick a way to end Earth right now, it might be The Rumbling. Like, considering everything that's going on...
A bunch of giants just stomping everything?
I feel like it's equal. You know it's coming. Everyone goes through the same kind of thing. It's like it's just, it is what it is. Yes, it's completely frightening, but it's also one of the coolest shits that I've ever seen in my life, to be honest with you. And yeah, I mean, if you're gonna die, you're gonna die. But the rumbling in Attack on Titan, I'll say this. The entire Season 4 Part 2, because that's not even just the only thing. I think the rumbling is something that when they approach you at the end of the actual, you know, Part 2 of this series, it's like, wow, we're finally here. Like, this is what... for a large chunk, I wouldn't even say for the beginning, because it was kind of like, it wasn't really pushed until maybe like Season 4, the beginning of Season 4, but we're finally here. I would say the episode featuring Grisha Yeager and Eren Yeager, more specifically Grisha Yeager, they're going back in time through the memories and exploring that thing. I think that's one of the best episodes, and kind of like the reveal of like it was Eren all along, and kind of taking that series and being like, oh wow,
so everything happened because of him, you know.
Yeah,
like, that's...
everything happens because of Eren, and everything from, there was no way, so you're now thing with like, it was this always fate? Was it destiny? Could there have been a moment where Mikasa just admitted how she felt about Eren? Could that have changed history, or was this all predetermined nonetheless? But nonetheless, I think that episode, I think they made that show weekly television every week, and I don't think there's a bad episode in everything. But even the fight at the pier, like them coming together, people from from Parody and the people from, I forgot what the fucking other, Marley, coming together, and all those tie-ins and everything fighting on that pier, I think that's amazing itself. So Attack on Titan Part 2 is season 4 Part 2, easily one of the best things. It's going to wrap up in 2023. I'm looking forward to kind of like watching it back as a whole again, because I've only watched the series altogether twice, and I'm just a fan. Like I really, really do love it. My worst thing, 2022. I'm saving the big homer for last. Shonen Jump breaks. We're in the middle of a story, and we're on our way to do something, and then it says, "Nah, this won't be coming out next week." And I'm like, "What the?" It ruins such the momentum of telling a great story. It's bad enough it's a weekly story, nonetheless, because it's not like we're getting the whole thing just in general. But when you have, like, for instance, JJK was off this week. I feel like a bad time to be off, to be honest with you. We're progressing the story. We're in the fight of Kenjaku is getting, he's putting the moves in. We're seeing all the characters come into play and all this other stuff. And then it goes on break. And then next week, probably My Hero Academia will be on break. And they're in the middle of something that's going on. In fact, I know they will be on break. But they're in the middle of something going on where there was a big like shift change plot twist. I get it. We're doing it in the interest of the mangaka and getting their health right and making sure they have optimal breaks and stuff like that. Maybe bank 2 episodes or 2 chapters in the thing so we can kind of like read it and don't really have to have breaks. To me, the random breaks at least once per month piss me off to no end. So that's one of my worst of 2022. Shonen Jump breaks. Y'all come at the worst.
Shonen Jump break. Nah, that's real. It ruins, like you said, it ruins the momentum.
I think the only time it doesn't, like, it's excusable is like the holiday season. They try to like give them time to go see their family, like, because I think they have a scheduled break around this time anyway.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you know what's the most egregious? Spy Family. Y'all every 2 weeks anyway. What the fuck y'all taking breaks for? You know what I'm saying? Well, we need a 0.1 chapter for. We seen the anime.
Listen, his once again, hey man, his PTO crazy. His PTO is amazing. I love it.
Yeah,
I need
locking
his
them hours in.
He like skip it.
The only one
use that PTO. He be listening to Black Twitter.
Listen, man. So Shonen Jump breaks is on my worst. Anybody else got any best and worst they want to share? Please.
AD, you got it.
Hold on, I got a decent list. I'm gonna cheat with the worst though. So best. Shout out to Shannon Reed from Sentai Filmworks. We got an interview with him at AWA.
That is big. Shout out to Shannon Reed. Check it out on our YouTube.
Call of the Night is probably one of the most underrated shows because it is on High Dive, but it is amazing.
Hey man, where do you be finding this? Yeah. Whoa,
explain it.
Slow up. So break this down.
Right.
All right.
If you're gonna introduce something new, you gotta explain the premise of it. And
first, explain High Dive. What is that?
It's a streaming service like Crunchyroll, but it's anime. Yeah.
You gotta pay for it.
Yes.
Okay.
But, I mean,
it's like Crunchyroll. Does it have like Crunchyroll titles or just like non-Crunchyroll titles?
What does it got?
Yeah, I'm looking now. They have the dub version of like Kakegurui and like Food Wars and all of that stuff. Like they have the other stuff that Crunchyroll probably wouldn't dub.
All right, whatever.
Like they have some decent stuff. But
wait, hold on. Only $36 yearly.
What's really on this website? That's what we got to figure out.
Yeah, man. Wait, hold on. Like,
Talk about it.
cheap.
I mean,
Talk about it, AD. Talk about
$5
no.
a
Talk.
month. A $5 a month plan.
talk about what? Talk about a sub service that I don't have, or talk about Call of the
Call it the
Night.
night. That's what I'm saying. Talk about Call it the night. We're about to explore high dive and figure out what the fuck is going on here. But please,
Yeah,
all right.
That's our first episode back after this. We our high dive review.
All right. Call of the Night is about a boy who has a problem sleeping at night. So he ends up skipping out one night and he ends up meeting a vampire named Nazuna, who invites him to her home. And she tries to show him the allure of being at night. When he finds out she's a vampire, and he sits there and is like, I want to become one like you. And through that, he goes on an adventure with her to, see what a vampire's life is like. So he meets different vampires in the town, whether it's like other different women and male vampires, the lifestyles that they live, the things that they have to go through, vampire hunters. We also meet some of his friends who try to find, like, why have you been skipping school, things of that nature. It's honestly really good.
Sounds like a munch, AD. I'm gonna be real with you.
It sounds like MTV made.
It's so I made it sound like a lot, but it's really not, because it's so.
He really likes this girl so much that he would become a vampire because this girl was a vampire.
No, not necessarily. So
he was just like, "Dang, I like how y'all getting it in over here. I want to be made into a vampire."
That's the thing. He doesn't know. So I was about to get to that part. The way to become a vampire is to, like, fall in love with them, but he doesn't know what love is like. So he wants to learn how to love, and he wants to fall in love with her.
He wants to become a munch, and he becomes
yeah. Listen, he's becoming a night muncher. He's a night muncher. That's it.
Yeah, and they call people who, like, fall in love with them and make them vampires offspring, like, which is the weird thing. Like, I don't know why they call it that, but that in itself, like, all right. Other than that, though, it's a good story. It's like, it's the way that they detail the nightscape, because 95% of the story takes place at night. So it's nothing but vibrant colors all throughout the entire story. You get to meet the cast of characters. Like, each episode follows them with, like, their problems, whether it's like a guy who met one of the different vampires and is trying to find them, but she doesn't want to meet with him again because she fell in love with him. But she knows that if she takes another bite from him, he'll end up becoming a vampire and deal with a problem of him having to feed on humans himself. So that's a big thing. They have to keep feeding on humans to live. And if people who fall in love with vampires end up biting into other vampires as they become vampires, they, like,
there won't be no more humans. Yeah, there won't be no more humans to eat. So now they have a conundrum on their hands. So they don't want to exclude him. So they don't want him to become a vampire because they don't want him to be eating other vampires and them becoming vampires. So they're trying to gatekeep vampirism, in a sense.
Yep.
But he loves her and he really wants to become a vampire because he really likes this girl.
Yes. But that's where the vampire hunter comes in.
The vampire hunter.
Yes, there's a vampire that hunter comes in.
This is crazy.
Who ends up looking.
This is a lot.
It's a lot, but, like, it's 13 episodes. It's really amazing. Like, for all the stuff that they pack in, like, I definitely recommend checking it out.
Just
I don't
14 episodes, or is it like a second season going to come?
I hope there's a second season. Let me put it like that.
All right.
Because the way that they end it is really good. It's a really good ending.
LJ, be watching this?
Why
y'all
not?
should. Y'all should really.
Listen. Sleep by day, munch by night.
There you go. Listen. All right. Listen. You claimed it. AD, did you do it worse or nah?
No.
He ran out.
But I was going to cheat with the worst. Y'all might hate me with. Well, LJ might hate me with my worst takes.
Okay, please.
You might hate me.
I know I won't, but I have a feeling what it is. But go ahead.
No, you don't.
Okay,
Meelz.
all right.
Undead Unluck.
Explain.
Mostly because He doesn't understand because
Wait. On that on luck that we spent episodes together arguing about
pause.
where you
Pause.
you went to bat. Dead on luck. Bases loaded. Full count type going up at bat. In the clutch. You went to at bat for Undead on Luck for it to get worse of the year.
This is why I'm going to explain.
I need you to.
Because what they did this year is the main cast has been, for the last 2 years, the main cast has been going through essentially what is the bad ending of a video game. And that's why I'm giving it the worst by quote unquote standards. Like, it is the worst because it is the worst ending that they got in a video game. So like throughout this entire year, they have been, scrambling to figure out how can they defeat the big evil, how can they defeat the gods, all of the things that are happening in the story. And when they found out they couldn't, they sat Fuko, the main character, into what is known as the Arc and said, you know what, we're going to reset the timeline. We're going to put you on a new game plus, and we're going to make sure you get the best ending. We're going to sit you down with the Primo strategy guide and make sure that you actually get the best ending. So that's why it is quote unquote the worst right now.
LJ, please respond.
I can't. I have no response. I can't.
There's one more that I'm gonna put on the worst by quote unquote standards.
I can't, bro. What?
That's literally what happened.
What? This is stuff you go up for, AD?
It is. Yes. I like video games. That's literally what happened.
You like everything.
I like video games too. Come check out the stream tomorrow, next weekend.
Ridiculous. I cannot believe this. You know what? AD, you like it, I love it. At this point.
What if he hates it?
What can I do? That doesn't exist.
All right. Well, listen. Here we are.
Oh my gosh.
Go off, LJ. What do you got? What best and worst do you have? Do you have any more? I got a couple more, but if you want to go.
I definitely got some more. I think this year, worst. I'm going to start with my worst. Worst friend ever. And this goes into, kind of ties into Meelz. It doesn't even it ties into Meelz. Worst friend ever, Aaron Yeager. It's a horrible friend.
Aaron Yeager.
I agree with his tactics.
Okay. Do tell, please.
He's the worst friend ever.
Go ahead.
It's just, you look how he's handling the rumblings and how he's treating his homies and just how he's just doing all this. Like, granted, I agree with the tactics. It does not make him a good friend, though. Like,
Some
you really
say he's a great friend. He would destroy the rest of the world for his friends.
Man, he boomed on his best friend. put him in the arm lock. That was crazy. On the desk. Horribly.
Some would say he's a great friend. Some would say he's a great friend. I don't know.
He's a horrible friend. That's a horrible friend right there.
What else you got?
No, best shooter of the year. Shout out to Gabby.
Okay. All right. So
that's a moment that happened last year. They get two, but she's still alive. She's still there. Best shooter.
To be fair, both of those moments you just listed happened last year.
Oh, they did.
I was hoping you would say Shawty from Licorice.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's crazy. Part 2 happens. I'm just gonna congeal it all together. The final season of AOT gets like. The final season of AOT is like a 3-year span. I feel you just gotta you can just keep calling on to it.
Nah, I feel you.
Part 1, part 2. But no, I think that Aaron was just how he was moving. It was a little wonky. I understand his reasons, but it was just a horrible friend. There's so many ways
Absolutely.
he could just handle that out. But no, Gabby, I think there's so much Gabby hate. Everyone hates her, and the fact that she keeps appearing and that she just keeps being around is amazing to me. It's my favorite.
Well, she's finally coming around to kind of like everything that's going on.
She is.
I think she's seen the error of her ways.
Best
Now
shooter.
Falco is a
Forever
tie-in.
shooter.
Falco's a tie-in.
Yeah,
so
now he's a
you
tie-in. Yeah, man.
So you got that to worry
AOT.
about.
We get one more part. We're gonna see what happens next year. I think. Yeah, next year.
All right, so I'll start running through the best because we gotta eventually wrap this up. One of my best for this year, Black Frieza memes. Love it.
Oh yeah, that was heat.
Listen, man,
those are great.
Black Frieza. It is the thing that we saw coming the least, but the thing that we maybe needed the most. Black Frieza. So that's been funny. One of the best. I personally have not caught up, but Hunter x Hunter being back is really, really good. Hunter x Hunter. This is the year out of all years that this thing actually came back. Mangaka said, "Listen, we gonna wrap this thing up. I got a couple more. I got one more left in me. A couple more volumes left in me, and we're gonna wrap this thing up." So that's what they're doing. So Hunter x Hunter being back in itself is a best. Worse, I low-key kind of have. I have Dragon Ball Super in a sense, but I have that because just the manga, because the movie is in my best. But the manga is kind of in my worst. I just think the villains were kind of like not the best villains. They kind of seem like B tier villains. The Dragon Ball wish to just become the strongest thing in the universe and having to fight there to me isn't very appealing. So I'm gonna give Dragon Ball Super, at least the kind of way it ended, the worst. Even though I think they did a lot to put Strive and actual lore in the actual series, which they have not done since the early days of Dragon Ball Z, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna give them that. We have not talked about My Hero Academia Season 6, especially with this fucking episode that just dropped over the weekend.
No, that was gonna be my best moment that happened.
Dobby's dance. The episode just dropped this weekend. They decided to put.
It's the best moment, man. Like I don't think that there is a obviously Shigaraki getting his powers, all the fighting, everything. But
Shigaraki waking up is a really good moment. I love it.
It's an amazing moment. It's an amazing moment.
Yeah.
But I think what Dobby's moment does in terms of shifting the entire series, like I think Shigaraki is so centered on Shigaraki versus Deku that I think that's its own entity, that's its own thing. I think what Dobby does just affects the story as a whole, society, that whole universe, the society in that whole universe as a whole, and in the repercussions of it. I believe that moment right there is what really shifts the entire, even just tone of the series from then. I think it's the little things and little cracks in the, there's always been little cracks in the glass. I think this is just the thing that just, completely shatters it.
No, absolutely.
In that entire series. And I think that is, for me, why is the one of the best, if not the best, anime moments this year. Going back though to your Black Frieza thing, I think another best for just the anime community as a whole is the return of Bleach.
Is Black Frieza in Bleach? Oh, up, wait a minute! This is black niggas in Bleach.
No, I'm saying this as a moment for the anime community. One of the best. Like Black Frieza was a moment for the anime community, but I think the return of Bleach also this year for the anime community is just one of the best moments. Like seeing old fans, new fans, everybody kind of just jumping into it. It was great. And Bleach just feels like such a brand new anime right now that I think that once again having people who have never seen Bleach before ever, and maybe this is this season is their introduction to it, but for them to get this experience is really, really cool to me. And I think just seeing how everyone came up this year went up for it was amazing.
Absolutely. To go back to the My Hero Academia part, I mean, this has been a crucial, I think one of the worst things, I think between season 4 and season 5, pretty much a lot of people dropped off the show. No intention to come back to the show. But I think season 6 is definitely worth kind of getting into it, and we kind of talk about Dobby's dance and how important that episode is, because it's always like you've always had this suspicion of like, oh, okay, he could be the son. He has a fire quirk just like this other guy, and you've always had this suspicion. And they talked about their dead son and all this other stuff, but when it's actually confirmed, when all this stuff comes together, and when it's all true, and it's revealed in such a way that it's like it's on the level of villains in other shows like Marvel or DC.
It's like it's taunting. It's you know, that's the thing. It taunts.
Right. It's big. It's a big moment that that is played off right and as well. And you get the moment to sit with it. And Dever is going through. He's having a mini panic attack. We got fucking Shoto, who's on the side of him, and is like, yo, we gotta go. And me learning that he's the same Japanese voice actor as Eren. And now I'm hearing like old Eren's voice within Shoto's voice, and now that's kind of cool. But him going through that moment, I think it's amazing, and I think they have a few more episodes this season. Also, Best Genius is back, so I'm happy for that. You know, that's one of my guys. Best Genius is a real pros pro, so I'm happy with that. Continuing running down my list, I have Demon Slayer Entertainment District arc, the final fight. That final fight was such a movie. I think from what they had with the initial Upper Six Demon, who was the girl, I forgot her name right now, to how they transition.
Yaki?
Right, and I think it's Guyutaro is the guy. How they kind of, beyond just the fight itself, I think how they managed to change the setting so much, from it just being a dark village thing to now being this fiery explosion kind of. It really gave this final fight feeling, especially when the music came into play, when the intensity came into play. What's my man's name? Tanjiro gets stabbed through the friggin' chin, through his mouth, and stuff like that. He breaks his finger, but he still tries to like swing something and do something. Like, there was a lot of things in those final moments of that fight that I loved, and I think it's one of the best things. This is, to me, one of the best anime adaptations that we've ever seen. Like, I think they have a high, and you can kind of do what you want when you pop them, because like, to have like 36-minute episodes, you know, extended episodes, they don't even they don't do like what typical animes do and have the ending credits and the OP song kind of interrupt the general mood and feeling of it. They just kind of transition to the next, so it's a one huge bingeable experience. Like, I think what they've been doing with that series is incredible, and I think Demon Slayer is I'm happy for it to be back in 2023, because I feel like they take anime and they make it a cinematic moment and make it bigger than probably any other anime that kind of does this. I've got a couple more things. Mob Psycho 100 season 3 episode 6. The one
amazing.
Where what's my man's name? I was just watching it too. This is fucking insane. Dimple, there you go. Where originally at the beginning of the season, Dimple has these like, he's sharing his kind of like ambitions with Mob, and Mob kind of like, you know, brushes it under the rug because Mob got a lot of things going on, and it actually inspires him to become an incredible big supervillain, which leads to the big Divine Tree arc, where it's revealed that Dimple was the one behind this Divine Tree. So now Mob is going, as the entire city is under the spell of this Divine Tree, Mob is the only one who's not under the spell, so he goes into the Divine Tree to kind of save everybody, and he finds out that Dimple is behind this. And through one small moment, he kind of realized that Dimple isn't doing this because of Dimple is not, as much he's like trying to play the villain part, he understands that they're still friends at the end of the day. And Dimple also realizes this as well. When the Divine Tree obtains some sort of sentience in itself, it starts attacking them, and then you have Dimple kind of like really in this like incredible art action sequence through the air, blowing himself up, has this moment where he goes against the Divine Tree, and it's fucking amazing. So I would say that. Also, the end of the episode just kind of, you said it yourself, AD, end of the episode just kind of left you speechless. It's like, what do you do after that?
Yeah.
Like, it's rare you have moments like that.
I had to sit down for a second and just process like what just happened because you see just how Mob took that whole situation with that fight and like the aftermath was just like, oh damn.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Um, Spy Family, one of my best of this year. It finally debuted. We're finally here for Spy Family. Um, the wholesome anime that everyone has loved for a long time. It's one of the only titles that, when you have a title at this point that hasn't been canceled and Shonen Jump, you kind of like hold it very tightly. So, Spy Family has been one of them ones. You guys have been talking about it on Big Eyes for years. It finally came out with the anime this year. It has definitely lived up to expectations and then more. Even the anime only episodes are entertaining. So Spy Family is just a really, really good one. Do you guys have any more bests at all?
I have no more worse. Surprisingly, I really don't have. I didn't have much bad things to say.
I have a
this
worst,
year.
but I don't want to say it right now. I mean, if you want to listen to it last week, because one of my worst is the Culling Games. I think it's.
No, yeah, I mean that's not. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that. I think manga. Once again, like I said in the beginning of the show, I think manga in general just had a really down year.
No Yuta until the end of the year to me, just like wow, like that was not Yuta. Is it Yuta?
Yuji?
No. Or Yuki? Are you talking about her?
No. I'm talking about the main character. I don't know why I'm slipping his name.
Yuji.
Oh, Yuji.
Yuji. There you go. Sorry, no Yuji until the end of the year. Like we hadn't seen this man for almost a full calendar year in the manga. It was like wow. Like
yeah, that was a lot. But for me, best. One of my best of this year is girl characters. Anya Hive, Salita Mercury. I think those just two girl characters that completely carried their show, and I love it. And shout out to those two. Like, just my favorite characters of this year. Another best soccer. Blue Lock, Aoashi.
Yeah.
Blue Lock and Aoashi, I think two soccer. I mean, for me, I've said this before. I'm just like, I've been really dying for another sports anime that isn't extra. That's like real, like true to life, or feels like grounded in real life. Now, Blue Lock is definitely one of those ones that are extra, but Aoashi, Aoashi is amazing. I mean, it was my manga of the year last year. It's one of my favorite animes this year. I love how they tell that, like the storytelling, how it looks, the art, like it is amazing. I love the fact that you can actually learn the game of soccer while watching it. Blue Lock is another just really fun one. Obviously, it's a little bit more shonen-y, but soccer this year for sports anime, they've given us some good ones. Trying to think, where was another one of my best anime as a whole? Just anime, man. Anime was at its best this year. We got a really good year, especially after us being down bad after lockdown and all that. I think just how it came back so hard this year. The community this year, we've been very blessed, and it's been great to just see everybody just dive back into it. Oh, what the fuck? Oh yeah. The best of the best this year, fucking Ash. Catch him.
Oh yeah.
Ash, motherfucking catch him. Ash, listen, catch him them rings. Listen, man.
Catching them W's for the first time.
Listen, world champ. No more. Man, listen. Ride with my guy. And he got one. We collected one, man. He went out like Dirk.
Somehow everyone.
Worst Meelz Pokemon hating on me. That's my worst.
Hey man, don't hate the player, hate the game, right?
AD.
Go ahead, AD.
Shit. It's nothing but best on here. I was gonna say a worst by technicality, but it's actually my favorite of the year. Takapi's Original Sin. Gotcha, boy. It is only 16 chapters. I do, but also, it is definitely a very divisive manga, simply because of how the story is written. The characters are very interesting in how they're set up. and they are. I don't want to go too much into it because you just have to read the first chapter. It is reader discretion advised because the main character goes through this type of. I don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it. I'm sorry, but you just have to read it. But the writer has another manga out right now called Ichinose's Family's Deadly Sins. It's kind of based on the same premise. Go read that one if you don't like how this one is set up. If you do like how it's set up, definitely go read the other one because it's kind of the same page setup. And you'll see how he kind of writes his characters. I'll say Ichinose is more kid-friendly and more reader-friendly. It has the more shonen tropes, and the other one is very more mature because there are a lot more heavy themes in that one. I'll say that. And that's why he says that's why he says I got issues, which I do. But there's that. I do gotta agree with LJ though. There are a lot of female protagonists, a lot of female characters. They are really doing the damn thing right now in anime and manga. I really love what they're doing as a whole. Licorice Recoil is one of my favorite anime out that came out this year. Amazing. Fire.
Hell yeah! Thank you, AD, for putting me on.
That is an amazing series. It is an amazing series.
List. Yes.
It is
another really good one.
You might have to go check that one out. A lot of great action, a lot of downtime moments where it's just like cutesy girl stuff, but then they get blended into a lot of action. And there's not really too much depth because the main character uses a lot of blanks in her guns, but she goes crazy.
Man, listen, Deadshot, that's really the best shooter this year. Right there, best motherfucking shooter.
Yeah.
With the she got the blanks, man. That's crazy. Have the special blanks with the red paint on them. You think you died?
Yeah. I was like, yo, did she actually? No, this nigga just knocked out. Okay. Yeah. Worst, I will say this, Disney, because they be hitting the pump fakes a lot. They have a lot of times where they'll sign exclusively to do anime streaming thing like they did with Tokyo Revengers. They said that with Bleach, and a lot of people were questioning whether or not it would actually come out on like Disney Plus or whatever. There's an anime that came out, I think either this year or last year, that was called Summertime Rendering. I watched like the first few episodes. It is actually an amazing series. It is a time traveler story. It's a jump story too. It's really good. But you can't watch it on Disney Plus. Disney done blocked it. I don't know why it's over here. Disney be doing some weird shit when they license anime. I don't know what's going on with them. That's probably one worst thing I will say. What else? Ranking of Kings. It ended earlier this year. Really good show. Can't say too much about that. Boji is one of the best kids. Really want to see that boy become king.
It took me a while to finish it, but it's good. It's good.
I feel Ranking of Kings is a Meelz show.
It's not.
Cyberpunk.
It's not, but it is.
Oh wait,
it's not, but it has moments, but it's not. But it's really not. You know why? Because it took me like 3 months to finish it. Like it literally took me like maybe like half the year to finish it. To be
You're
honest,
like, damn, I'm mad it took me 3 months. You're like, I could have finished this in a day.
Yeah,
A day or two.
To me, it's not like a real good, strong, bingeable series. To me, that's just me though.
It's slow. That's the issue.
It is.
It's
but
too
like
slow.
all of the characters are really good though. Like all of the characters were good. What was I saying? Cyberpunk. Really good.
I thought the ending for that. I just watched the ending for the first time today, so I actually finished it today.
Nice.
I thought the ending was really good. I half expected the weekend to come on one weekend song or something during the end, but I think it has a really good soundtrack. I think it has really good characters. I thought the last episode, to be honest, I wasn't paying attention to most things, but I thought the last episode was tremendous. I got the general gist of it. Like, don't become a robot. Like, or don't get addicted to any drugs or things or something like that. Just addiction is bad, is what it is. But I thought the final episode was real good. Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
What else? Dr. Stone.
All right, can we wrap this up?
Dr. Stone.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Dr. Stone.
Hey,
Dr. Stone. Vigilantes.
Too long.
Did Vigilantes end this year? Was it this year it ended?
Vigilantes did end this year.
Good for them, man. Vigilantes. It took them long enough, but they ended.
Hey, you might need a couple, but it sounds like outside.
Hey, man. Wouldn't be an episode without him.
Of course.
We're going to figure out Meelz is a vigilante. You put the M in the sky.
Drewski hands.
You put the M in the sky, and Meelz pop up.
Just Drewski hands. But go off. What else you got, AD? Take us home, AD.
One last one I got is Make the Exorcist Fall in Love. It's a Shonen Jump Plus title. The main character has the power of God on his side. He beats people by using Bible scriptures. That's all I got to say.
I love it. Well, listen, I'm going to say my final best is you guys. Because you guys have helped me through this entire ordeal. As everyone knows, we had a change in host this year. We had a change in kind of the guard this year. We're missing one of our own. If you want to know, to be honest with you, I have not spoke much with Jeff or damn near at all with Jeff since he, I would say, abruptly left the show. He actually kind of just went AWOL, to be honest with you. But you guys have kind of slid in and kind of supported, as a team. That's why I call us the Big Three, because you kind of just supported as a team. And we continue to move forward and we continue to get through the season. As much as it's tough to kind of process a lot of the things with this, like a lot of it. And I've not gone back to an old episode since. There's a lot of various different feelings regarding this. You guys have helped, me at least push through these last number of months and put out this amazing content, and have had your ideas for content and help out with social and all these other stuff like that. So you guys are the best of 2022 for sure. Thank you guys.
All right, man.
I already know.
You my brother, man. Y'all my brothers. The Lookout is, listen, we a family, and that's just what it is, man. Listen,
I'll save more.
Meet us there.
I'll save more for it. If I ever put up a Patreon episode, it's gonna be one episode on Patreon. It's gonna be $25, and I'll tell y'all everything. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, thank you guys for supporting us throughout the year of 2022. We got a lot more stuff coming up in 2023, so it's not like we're going anywhere. We're just done at the end of this year. 80, take us out with the last comment so I can end this thing.
Oh man, I get to do the final one. Let's get it. Oh man, you already know. As always, thank you guys for listening. Please read more manga, watch more anime, and be on the lookout. Only on the lookout. Don't meet us there, beat us there.
Thank you guys. We'll see you guys next year.